In this tutorial, we'll be looking at how to create the front and the back page of your Jotter. To start with, you start by creating a new document, and while creating your document, always ensure that your render resolution is always the highest, which is 300, and I always prefer creating my design on CMYK color mode. Then you click on OK. Now after creating your new document, the next thing you look at is what is the specific size of your Jotter, and to achieve that, you come over here on your property bar, you select A5. So that is the most common size of Jotter. But if you are designing directly on A5, that means you have the front over here, then you create a new page by click on this plus, you come to page 2 to create your back page. But if you don't want to design it directly on A5, what else do? You come over here and select A4. If you select A4, that means you can design both front and back on the same page beside each other. So what you do is you select A4 and you put your page on landscape. So you have your canvas set on landscape. So it is either you design directly on A5, but in most cases we prefer using A4 so that you'll be comparing the front to the back as you are creating your design. So what you do now, after creating your canvas, you have set your page on A4. The next thing now is to know how to divide it into front and back, and that is very easy. What you do is you come over here, click on ruler tool, drag it out, as you can see. So once you select your ruler, you press P, it will move it to the center of your canvas. So with that, you can easily differentiate from the right and the left side of your paper. Then after deciding the center, you now double click on rectangle tool, then you drag this to the left. So as you can see, so from the left to the center, this is a rectangle. Then you create another one for the right. So you have two different rectangles over here, one for the front and one for the back. So after this, you start creating your design. So this for the front and this for the back. Now your front will be on your right while the back will be on the left, because of what, that's the way it appears when it is being printed out. So to start with now, I want to import my pictures. I want to bring in the pictures that I will be using for my design. And to bring in your picture, you can go to your file menu and you click on import. So it will lead you to the directory where you have your pictures. If you don't want to do that, you can use this icon on your standard bar. It still means import. Or you right click on an empty screen, you click on import. If you don't still want to do that, you can use Ctrl+I. That still means import, to bring in your picture. Now apart from importing, you can still go to the file directory and copy the picture and paste it on your Corel Draw. But at this point, I'm using import. I'm pressing Ctrl+I to import the picture. So I've selected two pictures already. You click on import, then bring them in. At this stage now, I have my pictures in. I will be using this picture for my background. What did you do? You right click on the picture, click on power clip inside. So I've power clipped it inside this canvas. The next thing I do now, I can click over here to remove the color. Then select the rectangle, right click on it, then you click on edit power clip. So that gives you access to this picture. You can now come over here and stretch out the picture. So let me finish editing this level. You right click on it and you click on finish editing this level. It closes it back. So let's say we have this as our background. So I want to use it as the background for my design. What do? I come over here now, select the picture, I go to bitmaps. From bitmaps, go to blur. I'm using the Gaussian blur. So using the blur, it makes the image to become blur, like what I'm seeing here. I'm using 90.0 pixels. You can control the pixels. So the pixels is what control how blur your image will appear. So let me use the 9. Okay, this is 99. Let's see the output. Okay, something like this is still usable. Then you close the power clip. So with this now, I have blurred an image that I want to use as my background. Then the next thing is to bring in my picture. This picture I'm using here, I have removed the background on Photoshop. In one of the tutorials I sent earlier, I think I have explained to you how to remove your image background on Photoshop. So over here, I've used the same method to remove the background of this image. So the background of this picture is transparent. So right click on the picture, power clip inside here. Then you can now edit the power clip. Then stretch out the picture beyond the canvas, like what we have in here. Alright, so we have our picture already. So the front page is getting set. The next thing we do now is to bring in the write-ups and some other elements. Selecting my rectangle tool, I'm gonna create a rectangle here. And I'm giving this black color. So with the black color, double click on this place and increase all your color, both CMYK, increase it to 100. It makes the black to become sharper. Move it inside also. Setting up the write-up for the jotter, Blessing and John. So I have my text already. I will be using gold color. Double click on this place. Over here, type gold, G-O-L-D. So we see different shades of gold. So you can pick any shade here. So let me try this, Blessing and John, for my text. Then I look for a font. Let's look at something like this. Alright, then Control K to separate my text to break object. That's Control K. Double click on this. So I've activated the cursor. I press Control A using Shift F3 to change my text to title case. So I have Blessing and John. So just like what I'm having here, using Shape Tool, I click on Shape Tool, then drag this place up a little, Blessing and John. So this is the couple name. For the date, I can use another font. Let me use Agency. I can make it bold. I change this to white. Then I can reduce my font size to, let's say, 10. All right. So over here now, something is coming up already. I have inputted the names, and at the same time, I can still make this wider. Now I have the front cover coming up. So at this specific point, I want to put in an image. It is a vector image, but how do you work with it? So let me import. So I will be importing one of these. Let me use this, bring it up. I can use my shape tool just to crop other ones out. So this is what I'm having here. How do you work with this? Looking at it, it have a white background. What I want to do here is to trace out this vector image, and to trace it out, you select the picture, you go to trace bitmap. You can use quick trace, you can use any of these, but I'm using line art, outline trace and line art. So it will trace out the vector image. Let's see what happens. So at this point now, this have been traced out. You can just click on OK. Then this is what you have on your screen. You delete the original one while you have the traced copy. You can select this icon to ungroup this image, or you use Ctrl U on your keyboard to ungroup. Or better still, you come to object. From object, you go to group, and then you click on group object. But I want to use Ctrl U, which is the shortcut. You can try any of the shortcut, then the white, delete the items you don't need after tracing. So I'm deleting all this since I don't need them. So after deleting those ones, this is what I want to use over here. I give it gold color. Okay, so at this point now, I have traced the vector and I've given it a color already. So what you now do is you bring it over here. So this is a vector image that I downloaded online. So you bring it up after tracing it. What I want to do now is to bring in another circle where I can now fix in my text. So I'm drawing a circle inside this, and make sure that the circle is properly centralized. Then you give the circle also the same color. Remove all outlines. So at this point now, they don't have outline. So this is what I'm having here. You can select these two together. What I have here is called weld. If you click on weld, it will blend everything together. So everything has become one. I did not group this, I just weld it together. Then I come here now to create my text. I have this here. I can use Ctrl K to separate the text, or select the two text, use Ctrl L, it will merge the text together. So what I'm having here now, I cannot bring this here. Thanks for coming. Change the fonts. I can look for a font that I think I can use something like this. I think I like this. Thanks for coming. Then I use this dark black color on it. Then after that, you look at your text. Look at the space in between the lines. You can use your shape tool. Then adjust the spacing. You come over here on your property bar and put the text at the center. Thanks for coming. So something like this I think is nice. You can use your own a font of your choice. Courtesy of siblings, that one will be below. I'm reducing the font size. Let me use 8 for now. Courtesy siblings. I'm putting this under. Let me use title. Okay, it's courtesy of the siblings. Then I'm using agency as my font. Black color. Make the text bold. So I have this here, courtesy siblings. Using my shape tool again to reduce the space in between a little. Then I come to my menu bar, centralize the text, courtesy siblings. But looking at this, I wish I could have something in between the thanks for coming and the courtesy. So let me still reduce this font size a little. So I'm reducing the font size. adjusting the font size. So in between the text, I just want to put something here to fill in this gap that I'm having. What do? I will import another vector image now. I'm importing another vector image. Let me look for one, something usable. Okay, let me use this. Okay, trace bitmaps. Just quickly trace it out. Click on OK. Bring out the traced one. Delete this. So you can now ungroup this. Delete the parts that you don't want on. So I will use this one at this lower part, like what I'm having here. Let me bring it in. I'll give it black color. Wow. So I'm putting this at the center. You keep on adjusting until it suits your taste. Done with this lower part of my design. Then I'll move straight to the upper part. What do I have? What should I have at this place? Or should I leave it empty? No, I can put anything there. So the caption of the wedding is BJ 2021. BEEJAY. This is what I'm having at this up. Let me see what I can do with this. I can still use this over here as well. This vector image can still be used at this point. Hey, sorry. I can select this and weld it as well. So then bring it up. Mirror. You can see it here. This is BJ 2021. Then let me see, I'm giving this blue color. If the blue is too light, you can double click on this point. Then you can increase the black. That's the key. Let's say we do that 50%. So the blue becomes dark. So I'm having BJ 21 here. Then I want to put maybe something, a little design that is relating to wedding or love at the top. Let me see what I can do. You can still use vector, or you go and draw, create love. But at this point, we are doing something advanced. Let's look for something. Okay, for example, something like this is okay. I think this is good to go. Bring it here and see. But the color did not match what I'm having here. You can just quickly trace it out. Quick trace, fast. So you can just trace it out like what you are having here. Delete the original, ungroup, then delete all this. So I'm having only the love left. Wow. So this is what I'm having here. Very, very simple. I'm done with the front cover. Then this also, I can change the color. Let me look for the color I can use. Let me group this. Let me try it on cyan and see. BJ 2021. The cap, let me give it black. The diamond, or we leave it on the gold. We use the same gold for the diamond. So I have this here. Select it together and group it. So I have BJ 2021. I know this is very nice and very, very simple. To have a recap of all what I've done so far, to start with, you create your rectangle. After creating the rectangle, you import your background. You can use any background of your choice. What I did here with this background is I used one of their pictures as the background, and I went to bitmaps. I selected blur, and I used the Gaussian blur then to blur the background. Then I imported one of their pictures that I have already removed the background. Then over here I have a rectangle, black color. This is a vector wedding logo. You can just go online, click on vector wedding logo. You will see different images there that you can download and use for your design. Using text tool, I created my text. The other ones are vectors. So this is very, very fine. This is beautiful. Now let's quickly move to the back. Within the next few minutes, let's say 5 minutes, let's see what we can cook up on the back page. So this is my back page. I import again. Let's start. I have the pictures here. Let me just select up to 4 pictures that I can use for. Okay, so I have 4 pictures already imported. 1. So I have some of their pictures already on my screen. Looking at this picture, it's okay, it is fine. So there's no point in me stressing myself to create another background. So I'm using this picture straight as the background. So what I did is I power clip the picture inside. Then after power clip the picture, you edit the power clip and fit in the picture. So let's say this is the picture already on my screen. The next thing now, I will use circle. Using my ellipse tool, I will create different circles over here. Okay, for example, this is one. Give it a white outline. Press F12 to edit your outline. So I make the outline thicker. Let's say I'm using something like 4 points for my outline. Then I click on OK. So the outline is here already. I cannot duplicate this circle in 4 places. So I'm having about 4 circles here already. So here are my 4 circles. So now I will not be selecting the pictures one after the other, and I will power clip it inside each of the circles. So this one is here. I pick the next, move it down, pick the next, so I have strategically positioned the 4 pictures inside circles. Then I can work on the size, stretch it out a little. Wow, I think this is getting nice. Let me reposition this, or I reposition my circle. Just arrange it well in such a way that it will look very nice. Let's look at something like this. Something like this. You just have to go along with the arrangement and make sure the pictures are properly and strategically positioned. Let me bring this up also. Then bring this one up. To bring it up, I'm using Shift Page Up. All I'm doing here is to be arranging the pictures. Now what I need here is are the faces of the couple. So that's why I'm just going about the arrangement this way, in such a way that their faces will show. I'm using the zoom tool. Then you zoom this place in so that you can see it properly, and you start fixing your picture. You edit the power clip. To edit your power clip, right click on it, edit power clip. So after you select the edit power clip, then you position your picture, stretch it out beyond the canvas of the circle. Okay, so let's say this one is set. Then I pick up the next like this. Now drag it down a little to ensure that their faces are showing. Then you pick up this other one also. So at this point, I have strategically positioned the 4 pictures. Now looking at the jotter, you can see the front and the back beside each other. Then you can do a better arrangement for your pictures with what you are having here. You can now, at least the positioning, I can decide to shift it up a little. So with this, I have the front and I have the back page of my jotter fully ready to be used. So with this simple logic, you can create your own design. And at this point, I want to encourage you, give this a try and send it back. Let me see what you guys have achieved so far in this lecture. Thank you very much. And if you have your question, just check the comment section, drop your questions there, and don't forget to like our video, share our video with your friends also, then much more, subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much.